by the dozen. So it's a battle of wills here. You've got two guys, very proud players. Rondo coming over from Boston where he won a championship, bounced around a little bit. He's in Sacramento now. He wants to sort of restart his career with the Kings. He knows that if the Kings are going to go anywhere, they have to be competitive with the Warriors, and that means he must be competitive with Steph Curry.
Monty, give us an update on Harrison Barnes and what aspect of his game will be missed tonight on the court.
Well, Harrison obviously won't play tonight and could miss a few more games. Luke Walton was unclear about that. He said it could be a week, it could be a couple weeks. They don't know yet. There will be further tests, but his left ankle still swollen, so as time goes on, we'll get a better reading on when he'll be back to the lineup. But his loss is felt mostly with the small lineup because he's the guy who goes from small forward in the big lineup to power forward in the small lineup. He guards power forwards pretty well, and without him, that means Andre Iguodala, who's really a small forward, a big guard, must slide over and play some big forward tonight, which means Shaun Livingston, who's usually a point guard, could play some off guard and some small forward. So it does play a few games with the small lineup. Harrison and Draymond Green are the keys to that lineup because they're the two quote-unquote bigs in that lineup. So one of them is down. That means Draymond's load gets heavier, and we're going to see Andre play a little bit of four tonight probably.
Warriors insider Monty Poole joining us. In case you forget, only thing you have to do to get the latest information on the Warriors is go to csnbayarea.com. Monty Poole is working around the clock, and he always has the latest information on the defending champs. What do you like about that point guard matchup tonight?
Oh, I love it. I mean, Rajon, a Kentucky guy. I gotta point him out. He's a Kentucky guy. But Rajon, with Steph, if Steph guards him, he can back off a little bit because he's not as worried about the shooting. You got to stay in front of him and keep him out of the paint because when he gets in the paint, that's when he starts racking up those assists. 16 against Minnesota. He's had 20 this year. So he racks those up. And also when he picks the ball, try to get some ball pressure on him because Rajon sees the floor so well. So you got to get some ball pressure on him. And then for Rajon guarding Steph, he needs to make sure as soon as Steph leaves his house, he's on him. And then maybe he can spray some super glue on his jersey and then just grab Steph and stay. I mean, Steph is the hardest player to guard in the league. He can make every shot. You can't be close enough to him. He's going to make that shot. I mean, he's such a quick trigger, and he's the toughest guy to guard in the league. I mean, what can you do? The thing that would have helped teams with Steph Curry is if he was playing on a bad team. Because then you could be like, okay, let's run another guy at him every time he gets the ball. But with this team, the other guys can beat you. And it's not even can beat you. They will beat you. So that's not something you can sustain throughout a whole game. So this dude is just tough to guard, man.
The champs are very good, especially when they go small. When they go small, the Warriors have 5 guys on the court who can shoot threes. Andre Iguodala has looked pretty good shooting from downtown lately. When we come back, one more segment on the Dubs before we get out of here. This is a team that's going for its 18th consecutive win of the season. And if you go back to last year, they've won 21 consecutive games. There's Mo Spates. Mo buckets, please. Never seen a shot he didn't like, and he can hit from downtown, too.
Blocked away. Curry has it. Closes up to the backcourt. Then if it goes, it went in. It went in. A three-quarter shot by Curry for 3 at the buzzer. Oh, my goodness.
I remember Andre getting a hand on a Jeff Green shot and kind of the weirdest turn of events when, you know, you see everybody complain about a foul call that they thought was supposed to happen, but from my angle, obviously it looked like all ball, and you know, it drops from one bounce right into my lap, and you know, we practice those shots in practice when we're stretching. It's kind of dangerous, but you see like everybody chucking balls from half court, from full court, one hand, two hand. But that one I took and I was able to release it, and that was one I just stared down the whole way because it felt good. It was online, and I knew, you know, I had a chance. It was a huge plays in those moments, so we celebrated like it was a game winner. Then kind of had to calm down and like we got 12 minutes to finish this out and let's get it done.
If you're a true Warriors fan, then you must love CSN Bay Area. We got Warriors legends, the 2014-15 Golden State Warriors It premieres Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. Here's a look at the Western Conference standings. Golden State Warriors 17-0 with a chance to improve to 18-0 tonight. They are 3.5 games ahead of the Spurs, who are 13-3. The Thunder are 11-6. They're getting healthy, by the way, with Durant on the court along with Westbrook. Thunder are followed by the Mavericks, Grizzlies, Clippers, T-Wolves, and the Utah Jazz. Phoenix Suns with the same record as the Jazz. All right, time for a score alert. Hawks at Spurs. Atlanta looking for their first win in San Antonio since 1997. Kawhi Leonard hits the three. He's fouled. He would complete the 4-point play. Later in the quarter, Hawks down 7. Paul Millsap. Millsap will get fouled. He gets the friendly bounce. Second quarter, Spurs up 9. Tim Duncan in the post move. Yeah, he moves a little bit slower, but Tim still got those moves. Right now, the Spurs are up 20. 84-64. Now, that was a 2-point bucket, but last night the Warriors were shooting 3-point buckets like crazy.
They had a good amount of them.
A very good amount of them. He was 9. He made 9 3-pointers yesterday. 3-point field goals made, 87 by Steph this season. Rainmaker, go ahead and make it rain even more. Behind him, Kevin Love and Kyle Lowry. I mean, he is way ahead of everyone else when it comes to 3-point shooting. And his range is ridiculous. Is that what makes him very difficult and nearly unguardable?
Right. Well, there's no shot that he can't make. He can make any kind of shots. He makes all the tough shots, and then he's amazing off the dribble. So there's really nothing, no shots you can give him. And then you got to be close to him. Look, this right here, Steph is going to catch the ball. This is actually, like, not a terrible closeout. Like, you would think he's going to end up kind of close to him, but he's just got such a quick trigger, and then he gets the foul, too. I mean, it's just demoralizing. And this one right here, this would have Rucker Park going crazy right here. I mean, this, as a defender, you're just at his mercy. You don't know what he's doing. He's going to go behind the back here, just make you look ridiculous. Now you're just trying to get back to the shot and try to get a good contest, and you're just going to fly by, and Steph Curry's just kind of playing with you at this point. You're at his mercy. The fans go crazy at your own home court. It's embarrassing. The Warriors bench goes crazy. I mean, it's just a bad feeling to be a defender guarding Steph Curry. You're at his mercy because there's nothing he can't do without the ball. He is a magician with the ball, man. It's fun to watch.
When you see a guy getting burned like that on defense, you're laughing, but at the same time, you almost forget Steph Curry is playing against the best basketball players in the world.
This is the best.
If he's doing this against very good basketball players, imagine what he would do in a pickup game. And I don't care what park you're talking about throughout the United States, he would burn anyone, right?
Right. I mean, these are the best defensive players in the world. This is the best the world has to offer. And Steph is making them look ridiculous. I mean, on a daily basis, I'm like, man, every time I watch this guy, it's like, this is a video game. The stuff he does is like in a video game. Someone's just pressing the juke button and he's just doing everything he wants to, behind the back, crossing through the legs. Man, this dude is a magician with the ball.
Well, yesterday, after Steph and his team won their 17th consecutive game, Steph took off his shoes and handed it to a kid. It made the kid's day. So we asked you, what would you do for a pair of game-worn shoes by Steph Curry? I love watching this. Everyone's reaching out. He's like, you know what? This little kid is kind of quiet. He wants it. He's got my number on his cap. And, boy, look at him. He's trying to show his parents.
Oh, my goodness.
He can't even close his mouth. He is so happy. Steph Curry is a superstar, everyone. And this guy is still down to earth. And he's just giving back to others.
He's just a great dude, man. And on the court, man, I mean, there's nothing he can't do. You got to respect everything he does. Like, his pump fake could be just like an eyebrow raise because you know he's got such a quick trigger. You got to respect that. Then if he jabs, you got to respect that because you know he can go by, you get to the basket, get fouled. It stinks guarding Steph. And then he's such a great guy. You can't hate him. You got to love the guy because he's giving back. You said we talked about that, the MVP where he gave his card to the Boys and Girls Club or wherever he gave it to. It's a good dude, man.
Well, we have birthdays today. Not one, but two. Andrew Bogut, happy birthday. Leandro Barbosa, happy birthday. Steph Curry just sent out a picture of the birthday cakes, the flags of Australia and Brazil. Those cakes look good, man.
Cool, man. That's real cool. Looks tasty, too.
Whatever happened to just your normal birthday cake?
You can't do
That's
that
unacceptable, right?
No, these are NBA players. You got to do it up. You know, that's how they do it.
I love the look of those cakes, but there's still something about having your mom or your grandma bake your birthday
He probably
cake.
had that too. He's got 2 cakes. Both of them probably do.
Happy birthday to Bogut and Leandro Barbosa. Enjoy the game. Kings and Warriors are next.
So it never rains in the desert? All it takes is the hottest basketball team on the planet to show otherwise, as the Warriors rain threes all night long, and yet another record was shattered by the champs. Back-to-backs are always tough, especially when your in-state rivals come to town. But if you think you've seen all this team can do, you better think again. A sold-out Saturday night at Oracle. The Kings in town. Second meeting of the year as the world champs look to make it 18 in a row and extend that NBA streak to start a year. Last time they're going to see the floor for 2 weeks. Final home game before a 7-game road trip. Can they remain undefeated tonight? Hello, everybody. Bob Fitzgerald alongside Jim Barnett. And every time we think we've seen the Warriors ceiling, they make 22 threes, blow out the Suns, and play even better basketball. Where is the end of this great play?
Well, it will end sometime, undoubtedly. We don't know when that will be. You certainly don't want it to happen tonight against Marco Bellinelli and the Kings as that road trip is looming over the next 2 weeks.
Well, one good three-point shooter appreciated a three-point shooting offense last night in Phoenix that had to be seen to be believed. 7 different Warriors hit from beyond the arc. It was a barrage that put Phoenix on their heels right from the first quarter.
Well, it starts with Stephen Curry. He came out like gangbusters last night. He did everything, and the Warriors just kept dropping the threes. In fact, Stephen Curry made 9 last night. Didn't even play in the fourth quarter.
7 different players hit a three. 15 in the first half is an NBA record. 22 is the franchise record. And when the Warriors shoot like this from distance, you're not going to beat them.
Certainly not. And simply put, 17-0 to start this season. Stephen Curry is playing in another world. He's playing in his own gym. He owns anything that he wants. The game is slowed down for him. And when the players move the ball, 30 assists a night, shoot from the outside, go inside, push the tempo up, the pace, they are indefensible. Right now, that's exactly the way the Warriors are playing. You cannot defend what they are doing.
The win did not come without a cost, though. Harrison Barnes, a significant ankle injury. He will miss tonight's game and likely many more after this. So who fills in for him? Brandon Rush will start tonight, but they're going to ask for other guys deeper down the roster.
Well, certainly, but you want to keep that bench intact. Barbosa was terrific last night in Phoenix. Hit all 5 of his threes. He's an important cog. And, of course, you look at Sean Livingston. They want to bring Iguodala off the bench. So they will start Brandon Rush. They feel he's big enough to defend, and he can also hit open shots.
Harrison has played in 205 straight games. That is a major loss for the Warriors. How does it affect their synergy on offense and defense? They do have Oracle to rely on. The best building in the NBA. A sellout crowd looking for 18 in a row. Does the perfect season live on? Do the Warriors get that final home win before the road trip? Henry and Coletta are back in the studio right after this.
We're just minutes away from tip-off. Can the Warriors get their 18th win of the season and improve to 18-0? What is your take on that? And give me a key to the game.
Warriors need to attack the paint. They need to drive to dish and drive to score. The Kings have shown you can do that on. So Warriors need to get in the paint, dish to get open threes, score, look for lobs. They can do whatever they want down there.
No Harrison Barnes tonight, no DeMarcus Cousins, but you know it's going to be an entertaining game. NorCal rivals will trade shots. Warriors and Kings next.
Time for tip-off. Here's Fitz and JB.
The birthday boy, Andrew Bogut, who is 31 today, bring us in to Oracle with the Kings taking on the Warriors for the second time this year. The Warriors won up in Sacramento, and a different Xfinity starting lineup for the first time at the small forward spot in 205 games. as Harrison Barnes is injured. And so the Warriors lineup will look differently. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Brandon Rush, Draymond Green, and Andrew Bogut for Luke Walton. Rajon Rondo with Ben McLemore, Rudy Gay, Omri Caspi, and Costa Koufos. DeMarcus Cousins with a strained back will not play tonight.
Yeah, and that really hurts them. They're not going to have any long-term success without him. But this young man, who's a triple-double every night, Rajon Rondo, has been having a great season.
Our Lexus pursuit of perfection. The Warriors 9 straight wins over the Kings, and that ties the longest streak versus any opponent along with the Pistons. And Klay Thompson, no one's ever going to forget what he did against Sacramento with that 37 1/4, the NBA record a year ago. So the last home game before a 2-week road trip.
Very important. The Kings gave the Warriors all they could want November 7th in Sacramento when the Warriors, I believe they went 8 of 39 from three-point range. They missed 31 threes compared to last night. Disastrous.
Scott Twardowski going to toss it up, and the Warriors control. Ronnie Garrettson, Benny Adams, and Scott Twardowski will blow the whistles tonight. Draymond Green with the wing jumper flat. So we'll keep an eye on how the Warriors deal with the loss of Harrison Barnes on both ends of the floor. Koufos inside, and there's Rondo creating right away.
Well, he's averaging just under 13 a game, a little over 11 assists, 7.5 rebounds. They already got 1 defensive rebound tonight. So 2.5 rebounds shy of a triple-double average.
Shot clock at 7. Steph Curry rimming it out. Remember the game up in Sacramento? The Warriors were 8 of 39 on threes. And that was on the back end of a back-to-back. They were lethargic and did not have effort or energy and just had to grind one out against George Karl and Sacramento up in the state capitol.
You look at George Karl's record. 9 years there in Denver, took him to the playoffs each and every time.
12 50-win seasons. That's a blocking foul. Also remember that game in Sacramento is that Rondo played Steph Curry so physically.
Yes, he
He
did.
did an excellent job on him defensively. And Rondo's a bit shaken up.
Yeah, Curry went 2 for 10 from three-point range that night. Nobody could really knock it in. And Rondo, he was a volume shooter, but he got the 15 assists, the 12 rebounds, and 14 points. We'll see what he does tonight. They'll pressure Steph.
Lob, and it was low and knocked away. And here's Rajon Rondo on the open floor, dropping it off to Rudy Gay. Out of bounds is still Kings ball. Rudy Gay 1 of 13 last night in the Kings loss to Minnesota.
And 36 the game before that, so he's due for a game. I think the great players very rarely have 2 bad games in a row. And also, right now Brandon Rush is on Caspi. So we'll watch the Rudy Gay.
McLemore striping the 3 out of the corner. Nice out of bounds play.
Well, McLemore, a lot of talent, but he's playing fewer minutes this year.
Bogut harassed at the high post. Backdoor cut. Unable to finish. Brandon Rush didn't know what to do there, and the foul stopped the fast break.
First foul charge to Andrew Bogut, first personal, first 2 fouls.
Kings have moved up the charts offensively.
Yeah,
they come in as the 4th highest scoring team, the 7th best shooting team, 6th best on threes. But the difference is
their defense.
They're not guarding anybody. 29th in points and 30th in field goal percentage defense. And I was double checking the standings. There's only 30 teams in the NBA, so that's not good.
Next to last in points allowed and dead last in field goal percentage.
And the field goal percentage stat is the one that really matters.
Already this Oracle crowd anxious for the Warriors to not get too far behind here and right the ship.
Both teams
yet to score.
Both teams did play last night. Warriors winning in Phoenix, and the Kings losing in Sacramento. The deflection. Draymond ran Rudy Gay out of the picture and got Curry the lay-in.
He is so skilled for his size in the open court like that, fully aware of the surroundings, and you set up Steph Curry beautifully.
Omri Caspi shooting a great percentage from three-point land, so you have to honor him there. Rondo, that little push shot jumper, and Brandon Rush the rebound.
Great opportunity for Brandon Rush. We'll see how long he can last out there. It's up to him. The ball moved so nicely last night in the early going.
And there it is again.
Well, Rudy Gay is not interested at the defensive end of the floor, not nearly as much as at the offensive end.
Bogut just saved a layup. Rondo thought he was cruising in there off a made basket.
I love Draymond Green starting on Rudy Gay.
Rudy Gay knocked it off of Draymond.
You have Brandon Rush on Caspi. Here's the simple drive. You start to go. This is cleared on the baseline, and that little extra spurt after a little slowdown got him to the rim uncontested.
Cannot play Rudy Gay any better than that, but he gets his own rebound and able to dunk it down.
Yeah, that's the one that Bogut has to get. They
Bounce
defended
of the
it.
ball.
You'd love that shot every time to give him that one.
They harass Curry. Bogut, little push shot, was looking to pass until the very last second. There's Caspi from deep.
You called it.
Omri Caspi at 44% from beyond the arc. Sacramento off to a very nice beginning. Steph Curry from deep. Brandon Rush the rebound, and he'll get to the line. Brandon Rush came up wincing a bit as he took a lot of contact.
Brandon Rush will be on the line. Golden State, he'll be shooting.
He initiated a lot of contact on the first move,
Right.
and then got hit hard on the attempt to make the basket.
And Rush knocking down a couple free throws. You mentioned an opportunity for Brandon. What's his mindset knowing Harrison's going to be out for a little while?
Well, he just has to be ready to play, and I'm sure that they decided on that today when they went through the walkthrough.
There's Bogut fighting for that rebound.
Well, as I say, he's a pro, and he's got to be ready when his number's called.
Klay Thompson tickling the tin with the three. The lob. McLemore did well just to catch that.
Well, he's got hops. Mismatch inside, trying to get it to Costa.
Memphis coming over from Memphis, missing there. And the outlet, McLemore. They know the Warriors want to run. A very smart play. And Rudy Gay able to flip it in. So no more 1 of 13 for Rudy Gay. He's got 2 made field goals tonight. Klay Thompson to Draymond, who thought about a lob to Bogut. All moving around nicely. Shot clock at 5. Kings, good recovering defense. Draymond 3 is an air ball. So Sacramento moving as the Warriors move the ball.
As well as anybody's moved against the Warriors offense this year in the early going.
Look at the Kings run it back. Don't forget George Karl knows offense. And Sacramento 55% shooting, but their defensive energy has been impressive.
Yeah, and they're doing this without Cousins.
That lob was blocked. Rufus was aware of it.
Well, they've really done a great job scouting. They're not going at the ball handler. They're staying back with Bogut so they don't give up any lobs.
Gay's got to back it out and flip it out. So tough sledding for rebounds right now. Rufus is attacking that offensive glass. Klay Thompson, what a pass from three-quarter court. Rudy Gay nearly falling down, got it out to Caspi. He is bumped as he began the drive.
This timeout is going to be good for the Warriors right now.
The Kings have come out in full flight. Warriors trying to run and match them, but Sacramento up 6.
We're authentically thankful for this team. Happy Thanksgiving from all of us at CSN.
Welcome back to Oracle Arena. The Warriors trail the Kings by 6. The Warriors staff are expecting Harrison Barnes to miss a few weeks. So tonight, Brandon Rush gets the start. I spoke with the staff before the game, and they feel like Brandon has been playing with more confidence, and he's shooting well, and he has size and can help rebound. Now, another option to start would have been Andre Iguodala, but they didn't want to ruin the chemistry of the second unit. Another candidate for minutes at the 4 is Shaun Livingston. They feel like Shaun can cut behind the defense for lobs off of Steph Curry or Draymond Green penetration, and defensively, he can use his length to help him out. Guys?
I think Harrison is such a key, along with Draymond, to that small unit, that Iguodala and Livingston, Barbosa, Brandon, they will come up with different combinations, but none of them are as large as Harrison and really as strong, and so it's a little bit different.
I agree with you.
At the power forward or stretch 4, because also Harrison's a tremendous three-point shooter too.
But he is stronger than all the ones you're mentioning, and that does hurt them. His defense has been very solid this year.
Draymond elbow jumper. Now, why did you say the timeout came at a good time for the Warriors?
Well, the Warriors were a little lethargic. Very different game from last night that we witnessed. So just to regroup a little bit, settle themselves down, and stop the Kings.
Rudy Gay rattling that out.
So we'll see if it plays out.
Steph Curry springs free and drops in a 3. So he continues the second-best streak in NBA history. He's already passed Dana Barros. And now it's a matter of going after Kyle Korver. Gaspy. And look at Koufos get on the offensive glass.
Well, right now, the Kings are out hustling the Warriors, particularly on the offensive glass for them.
Sacramento had a really nice win in Minnesota. Or no, excuse me, in Milwaukee.
In Milwaukee.
They lost him in Milwaukee. That was without Cousins. And they lost to Minnesota last night. The Kings are playing much better basketball. Iguodala hitting a 3.
We're not surprised anymore with the year he's having from three-point range.
46% on threes.
You may make it, but you yield that shot to him.
Yeah, I mean, he's so good as Rajon Rondo in penetrating and delivering and passing that you have to dare him. Play the percentages, as you always say, Jim.
Well, that keeps him outside, so he's not setting up other people. And plus, he's not the greatest shooter from the perimeter.
Now, Rondo will have picked up 2 fouls. And he's the primary defender on Curry.
Substitution for the Kings.
Quite a contrast with the year that he had last year. So much controversy down in Dallas.
Sign a 1-year deal.
For the Kings, also on the floor first time this
Quincy Acey's going to check in. And Marco Bellinelli, who loves to be part of our CSN broadcast.
Always one of our favorites.
He's been good for Sacramento. And the Warriors throw it away.
That's the defense is challenging everything. They're not giving in to position.
So Darren Collison, along with Rondo, very good point guard tandem, and the Kings return the favor with a turnover of their own.
Collison did not play in that first meeting.
That's correct. Iguodala with an offensive foul. Luke Walton did not appreciate it, neither did Andre. Luke Walton actually calling out the Kings' play as they come into the front court.
Warriors foul, charge play council. First personal 13 foul.
So 3 team fouls apiece.
Clay trying to fight over the screen. Just incidental contact, especially going away from the ball.
There's the AC hustling. And you hit on it, Jim. The offensive rebounding as Collison doesn't make the Warriors pay, and Bogut grabbing that one.
If Bogut goes to give help, he allows Koufos to clean up. Talk about cleaning up. I think the timeout did wonders for Stephen Curry.
So Curry another three. And the Warriors, after being down 8, within 3.
So let's watch that Koufos-Bogut matchup. When Bogut vacates him, Koufos fights for inside position for rebounds.
AC from the baseline.
Found money for him.
Steph Curry, kind of a whirling dervish move, and he'll get to the line. So the Kings have gotten the Warriors interested. Sacramento came out with a nice burst, built the 8-point lead, and the MVP leading the charge back. Kings with a 5-point lead. Bob Fitzgerald, Jim Barnett, Roz Gold on Wood A with you. Our Shamrock Office Solutions plays of the week. The franchise record, 22 made threes last night in Phoenix. NBA record, 15 and a half. 7 different Warriors hitting threes. And when you make that many threes, you're not going to beat the Warriors.
Well, we talked about it before the game. Phoenix shoots 50%. They make 10 threes. They're plus 12 in points off turnovers and lose by 19. That's how strong the Warriors were last night offensively. But you can't always count on offense, and I've said before, their defense comes and goes, and tonight it looks like their defense is going to have to come to the front.
So Curry hitting the first free throw, and we check in with Roz.
Well, Luke Walton broke it down to his team. He said defensively, the Kings are switching everything. Use that against them. Let's split it. Let's get some split cuts in there. Everyone's trying to take us out of what we do.
Part of the deal is going to be playing without Harrison Barnes, who's played in 205 straight games. I mean, that's going to be a big adjustment on both offense and defense.
Started the last 120 games. So it's a different look for him.
Willie Cauley-Stein, the rookie out of Kentucky, getting his first playing time. Collison, a nice feed from Bellinelli, but he can't hit the three.
And he was wide open. Steph Curry got no man's land.
Hand check on Collison.
He looked at Ron Garrett and said, what? He's still making his plea.
Well, the best part for the Warriors is they're in the bonus. So
that's why he was so upset about that, because he knew it was going to cost him. Wasn't much contact, but that's the way they call it nowadays.
Steph bringing the free throw in. Season ticket priority list. Over 18,000 to get priority access to the best available ticket locations the moment they become available. And exclusive pre-sale opportunities at 888-GSW-HOOP.
2 minutes remaining.
So Steph with 12 of the Warriors' 21. Collison, field goal and the foul. Steph Curry will pick up the personal.
Warriors foul. To Stephen Curry, first person, 14 foul.
Collison is a proven guard in this league. There's no question about that.
He's always wanted to be a starter somewhere, so he keeps moving around to different franchises. And really, when he was with the Clippers backing up Chris Paul, to me, I thought that was the perfect role for him.
Yeah. Played 80 games there 2 years ago. He's always averaging double digits every year in the league.
Livingston doing some work inside.
Yeah, they're going to need his offense tonight, and he has to be a little more aggressive. Sometimes I believe he's just too unselfish. But they may need that tonight without Harrison.
Linelli missing for the baseline, and AC knocked it out of bounds. That'll be Warrior ball. Benny Adams had the original call, and now they're giving the ball back to the Kings. It appeared AC knocked it out of bounds. That's the way I saw it as well. Benny Adams got overruled. Draymond moved his feet. And Rudy Gay, good offense beats good defense in this league.
Always does. We saw it, witnessed it last night. But Rudy Gay's coming off, as we said, 1 of 13, 2 points.
And Steph Curry, his third three.
He's got his groove back. He's the one that benefited the most from the timeout at the 5:57 mark.
Bellinelli rattling that home.
Kings working on a near 30-point quarter right now.
Steph slipped a bit. And the foul on the running jumper.
Talking about a foul, charge, number 8, Rudy Gay, first personal.
Just got his rhythm up. You know he can leap. And when he's going to his strong right hand, he's much more accurate. Steph, doesn't matter whether he goes forward, backward, left, right. He'll burn you. And I thought these were pretty much a gift across the, unless we missed something.
Well, what's been interesting is I think teams have played Steph very physically without the penalty of him shooting a lot of free throws.
I agree.
And tonight,
not very physical, has it been?
Tonight there's been some fingernail fouls, and Steph is 6 of 6 from the line.
He'll take it. Good time to do so. Collison challenging a good defender.
A 10-second game shot clock difference. Warriors play the D and get the rebound. So now they can play for one. Have not led in the game. Until now.
That was all vision from Draymond to Ezeli. Eye contact.
And Rudy Gay, that would have counted. But misfire there. So all that good work by Sacramento. And yet Curry goes for 17. The Warriors 4 of 8 on threes. And after being down 8 early, after the first 12 minutes, it's the Warriors with the 1-point lead.
Of the champs.
Warrior lead at 1. Bob Fitzgerald, Jim Barnett, Ross Gold on Woodey with you. Final home game before the Warriors go on the road for 7 games in 2 weeks. We're trying to go back and think if we could remember a longer road trip in recent vintage.
Not at all. 14 days. So the Kings down by 1. They had 9 second chance points. That's what kept them in the game primarily.
And out rebounding the Warriors. Bellinelli and AC, Willie Cauley-Stein, Rudy Gay and Collison. Bellinelli just had to throw that 3, but ricochet right back to Collison. Collison's got Ezeli on a switch. That's the way you play a little bit. He's got to shoot a jumper, but somebody in the slate uniform's got to grab a rebound.
Cost them.
All these chances.
It cost them. Now they've got 12 second chance points.
So Ezeli, Sean Livingston, Mo Spates, Iguodala, and Barbosa. We have not really seen this unit. We're going to have a bunch of experimental lineups. And Barbosa rattles home the 3.
Well, he's made 6 in a row when you count last night. Odds haven't caught up with him yet. Boy, I just love the way he approaches each and every game. There's a lot of energy for a 33-year-old today.
Rudy Gay's been attacking tonight, but unable to finish there. And Mo Spates running the floor.
Well, that's That's the kind of pace that the Warriors need to push it up to that. Made it very easy for Mo. Credit Barbosa again. Nice bounce pass.
George Karl going to stop it, sensing the Warriors are finding a bit of energy. The veteran coaches don't want this crowd to get involved. But the Warriors deny and fly, and it's Mo Spates giving the Warriors a 3-point lead.
Welcome back to Oracle Arena. Warriors up 3 on the Kings. At 17-0, the Warriors are in a league of their own. So how do they police themselves and not get complacent? Well, I sought out a veteran, a leader, and I spoke with Shaun Livingston, and he said, we don't just want to win because we're more talented. What's key is that we have good players who are also disciplined players. We take accountability individually first, then as a team. We want to avoid falling into bad habits or slippage or even boredom by respecting the game, respecting the process, and playing the right way.
Sounds just like Steve Kerr. Not a bad one to pattern yourself after.
Rudy Gay missing, and Barbosa with the rebound. Rudy Gay is 3 of 10, but as Jim talked about, the 12-5 advantage on second chance points.
You knew Rudy Gay was going to get his shots tonight.
Livingston, a little bit of a lob, and Festus. I'll take a rebound and a basket.
You just pull a little Moses Malone on you.
Somewhere George McGinnis. And Moses, big rebounder in the sky, enjoying that.
I played with George in Philadelphia.
Offensive rebounder supreme.
And not very big, but strong.
Mo Spates.
Now that is not an easy finish. The big fella falling forward, leaning. Shows you great body control there.
How about the depth of the Warrior roster? This second unit getting it done. Barbosa with a steal. Livingston, and Spates just didn't catch the pass. That was such a clever delivery by Shaun, and it kind of shocked Mo.
Well, he didn't expect it because he tried to squeeze it in there with 2 defenders. Bounced right off him. May have been deflected. Looked like a defensive back. May have gotten a hand on it.
There you go.
Tough to catch a double touch.
Mo Spates.
I tell you, he's found his offensive game here in these few minutes.
On 11-0 Warrior run. And Mo Buckets has 6. 3 of 3 shooting.
This is what they need. Make it easy for him.
Rudy Gay splitting defenders.
They did a good job, though. He earned that. They didn't foul him. Could have been an easy 3-point play possibility.
Iguodala took it to trouble. Spates carries on. If he had made that, you got to be kidding me.
He's so good going to the right.
Rudy Gay. The Warriors knocked that out of bounds.
When he drives, you want to make him go left. Just takes Koufos off the play and puts it up gingerly with his left hand.
Everybody on the team has to kick in with Barnes not playing.
Yeah, every night. This is just the beginning.
And you say different guys looking for more scoring. Some guys have to rebound. You have to play some of the gimmick lineups and more traditional power forward lineups. As Rondo hits the jumper. I mean, you look at right now, Mo's playing the center, Draymond's at the 4. And that's with the second unit of Livingston, Barbosa, and Iguodala.
Where do we see Barnes when the Warriors are going? Let's watch this play here. Okay, good. Where do we see Barnes most of the time? When Klay Thompson has the ball, Steph Curry, they're moving the ball up the floor. Where do we find him?
In the corner.
In the corner. So that's another reason that Brandon Rush gets the start. He can make that shot from the corner.
Right.
Now, all of a sudden, if you put Livingston in there, Livingston's not going to take up that space in the corner and not going to be a threat. Makes it tougher on everybody else.
Shaun can do some of the backdoor cuts that Harrison does, but not the corner 3, which Iguodala missed there. And all adjustments. Rondo pulled the string short. The sprint for the Brazilian blur, but couldn't get it off backboard.
You don't see that but a couple times in a year.
Collison looked like Barbosa.
Well, Barbosa going a little too fast for, I guess, just doesn't usually miss that. And that with a whirling dervish finish by Collison.
That's a 4-point swing. Miss the layup, give up a layup. Draymond 3 is long. Mo Spates with a rebound. And there's Livingston on a backdoor cut.
Just hanging around outside the lane, then stepped into the pass.
So the Warriors at 50%, Sacramento 42%, but good energy now.
Well, that's what you call a good find. No call?
McLemore pegged into Barbosa.
Good look from Draymond.
That's pretty basketball right there.
Well, that's from your leading assist man on the team, your power forward.
Say, Mo Spates is getting a good hand, and he should. 5 minutes, 6 points, 2 rebounds.
Well, George Karl doesn't get off the bench as much as he used to, but he got up after that knockdown and no call.
Trying to get it back to Clay, and the Warriors turn it over. Only 6 turnovers so far. Much better than last night.
That's the first one this quarter.
Also moving his feet. Collison in front of him. That was nice. Draymond switched on Rondo. Got a piece of that flying hook.
One-on-one. He likes these.
Leandro runner. And the Kings fortunate. And Koufos.
They ran it right back. I still love Barbosa because come down one-on-one, you got to attack every time, and he understands that.
Luke Walton's going to use the timeout. Well, this is the Thanksgiving holiday, and so the Warriors took a team photo at Dubsgiving. There it is, with everybody gathered around the Thanksgiving table, and a lot to be thankful for in Warrior lands. Warrior lead at 3 with 5:48 remaining in the first half. Our Taco Bell spotlight. Against the Bulls, it was Harrison Barnes with 2 killer threes in the fourth to salt that game away. That was the 3rd game in 4 nights. Chicago was giving the Warriors everything they would want. And just as he did against the Clippers, Harrison Barnes came up large in the 4th quarter.
He really did. Those 2 threes, they came within 35, 40 seconds of each other. Curry made the shot, then they find Harrison for 2 in a row.
Now, Luke Walton at his pregame press conference discussed the Harrison Barnes injury, and he said weeks. So that could be a long time without HB. Very fortunate there. It was going to be a turnover. Ends up being a dunk.
Yeah, they had no chance then. The lane got vacated by the big of Koufos. It was left to Collison.
Collison and Koufos with Caspi, McLemore, and Rajon Rondo. A lot of contact there, and Caspi's fouled. And we check in with Roz.
In that last timeout, it was Steph Curry doing the talking. He said, don't fall into the trap, guys. It doesn't matter who's on the other end of the court. It's about our effort. We've got to pick it up. And then Luke Walton chipped in. He said, we've got to stop turning over the ball. We're giving them extra possessions. Take care of it.
And the possessions, I think, come from last night with the turnovers where they had 25. I think the bigger thing is kind of Jim's point. The offensive rebounds, the loose ball scramble plays. Sacramento's winning a lot of those.
Yeah, you can't stand and watch the game. You've got to claim the game. You've got to force yourself to get involved. Sometimes you don't feel like it.
Because the Warriors are +1 in points off turnovers. So I don't know that that is the critical area tonight that's hurting them.
Well, only 1 turnover this quarter.
Shot clock at 1. Rondo missing the 3. And Festus working hard on that defensive rebound. But they're the Kings, and Clay finally taking it away. And Koufos, the reach-in foul. That's how hard it's been to get a defensive rebound tonight.
Well, the Kings are hungry.
8-second violation.
You know, they're fighting for their life here. They're playing games without DeMarcus Cousins, and we're going to get a different call here than we anticipated.
Okay, wait a minute. They're calling the Warriors for a backcourt violation when Koufos fouled Klay Thompson. Luke Walton's at center court. He can't believe it. What was that? Klay hits a three, so it becomes irrelevant, but that was absurd.
Let's see what the starting backcourt, the Splash Brothers, can do in the last 5 minutes of this quarter.
Casspi missing there.
Well, first you have to get the ball.
All these offensive rebounds. Klay Thompson is fouled. And I'm going to wait because it's a foul, and it's going to stay a foul. Luke Walton is still at center court. He wants to ask Scott Twardowski, what was the previous call?
We'd have to look at it again because I did not see the backcourt. You could see that Klay Thompson was trying to get control of the ball.
Koufos reached and fouled him.
There was contact.
And the whistle blew, and everyone knew it was a foul. And
well, they didn't call a foul. They just called the backcourt. But he never really, to me, he was just trying to gain possession of the ball.
Never got in the front court. And the lob and the foul. So Casspi, they are aware. Your scouting point is a good one, Jim. But when you think of George Karl and everything he's seen,
yes,
all these lobs, you have a king defender.
Yep.
You know, it's not that open space in the dunk fest we've seen previously against other teams.
He's getting good rotations. And they are very cognizant that the Warriors do score a lot of points in the paint via the lob.
I think all you had to show him was the Laker tape. Say, don't play defense like this. The 4 days of giving with no ticket fees, daily special offers, including tonight's item, a championship ugly Christmas sweater, free shipping on all merchandise, all at Warriors.com, and that ends on Monday with the 4 days of giving.
I ordered that Jeff Mullins, Steph Curry jersey for his grandson, and I got free shipping today.
Nice.
Just today. 75 bills.
Casspi missing. And Draymond and Festus now saying enough is enough on the defensive glass. And Draymond Green is fouled. And the one-man break, the Draymond Express.
How about that ball handling right there? If you notice how he got closer to the basket, a little more contact, a little more congestion. Watch it get low with the dribble. Put it down real low and then picked it up. He knows he's going against a smaller player to finish the play. That is great control.
Missing the free throw there. It was a great replay in that Draymond is not looking down at the ball. He's looking to set up his man because he's improved his ball handling so much that he's very comfortable pushing it on the break, as well as passing and making great decisions. So this is the Warriors' biggest lead now at 11.
Which way does he go, Bob?
He goes to the right, Jim.
Yes, he does. And sometimes you've got to figure that out by the second quarter, maybe the second half.
Well, he's 5 of 15. We have a foul as Steph went to pass the ball.
Well, the point is, in the second half, he might go 10 of 15.
So Rajon Rondo with his third foul. Collison quickly back in.
Now, Rondo's had a tough first half.
Yeah, 2 of 7. Does have the 4 assists, but only the 15 minutes played with the foul issues. Klay Thompson, I'm going to call that a pass.
Well,
he missed it off to the right, but he did shoot the ball.
But you're exactly right. He got caught in between.
Also missing there now, Festus. He knows his role. He's grabbing boards. He's got 7 of them. Klay corner 3. I think the Kings break it back. You can see why they've moved top 6 in scoring. Bellinelli missing that 3, but another possession. Rudy Gay, sometimes you drive to get fouled. And the veteran did just that. His first free throw's coming up. 2:47 remaining in the first half. Spirited effort by the Kings.
This is Harrison Barnes, and you're watching CSN, the authentic home of the champs.
Warrior lead at 9 in our McDonald's True Story. Klay Thompson against the Kings in this building has been ridiculous his last 4 games, and one of them included that 37-point third quarter and the 52-point game. But the one thing about Sacramento, they're only shooting 36%. The Warrior defense has awakened here in the second quarter, but you got to like the effort George Karl's getting out of his team.
This is one of the games for the Warriors where the flow is interrupted all the time.
Yeah.
And you're going to earn the win. The Kings are going to try to make it ugly. They're going to try to out-hustle you. They're going to try to rebound all those missed shots. They're going to try to play you physically, and the Warriors just have to weather the storm. This is one of those games. They've got a 9-point lead right now. They're shooting the ball well, but it hasn't come easily.
And I think I'm evaluating kind of all the different matchups without Harrison Barnes, okay? And so far, Mo Speights, his 5 minutes were excellent. We've seen Barbosa in 9 minutes push the tempo. Livingston has taken 4 shots already in his 9 minutes, and now Ian Clark gets an opportunity. So, you know, Luke Walton is mixing and matching a bit and looking for combinations and figuring out where you're going to get Harrison scoring in his minutes.
Ian Clark was good in his 13 minutes last night. 7 points, 3 field goals.
You know, Rudy Gay has played really good basketball in Sacramento. You know, when he was traded, he'd become a volume shooter who had not, it kind of lost his way in Toronto.
Yeah. Memphis to Toronto in the air, yes.
And Sacramento now, he's rebounding his career best. His shot selection has become better. He's attacking the basket. We've seen that repeatedly tonight.
Well, he likes George Karl's offense, as does DeMarcus Cousins. Gives him freedom to shoot threes.
Klay Thompson hitting the elbow jumper.
We talk about Curry's release, how quick it is. Well, Klay Thompson has a very quick release, too. That was not an easy shot. Going away from the basket, turning and launching.
Both Steph and Klay are 4 of 6 tonight. Rudy Gay getting to the line again. And Rudy Gay is one of those players like Carmelo Anthony. He's too big for threes. He's too quick for fours.
Yes.
He's super long, and he's very skilled. So, I mean, Draymond's a superior defender, so it's a good matchup. But that's why Rudy Gay can really bother a lot of front courts. Jim said pregame that when a guy has an off game who's a quality player, you know he's going to come out gangbusters tonight, and Rudy Gay trying to make up for that.
This time he goes left. Just gets the inside move, and his strong move to the basket there with the right hand earned him the foul.
And you see it's 6'8", that length. He went above Draymond to get that shot off and draw the infraction. So Rudy Gay's got 14, the only King in double figures.
First 6 years in Memphis and then short time in Toronto. Always been a 20-point scorer every year, essentially.
Draymond having that knocked away, and it hit off of him. So Draymond yet to score in the game. He has 5 assists, 5 rebounds, but 0 for 4.
When we were on camera there, as I said, it's just, you don't see the fluidity that which the Warriors offered last night. Everything's a struggle. Sometimes it's like that.
A roof, Rudy Gay, Hogan and Klay combining on that.
Superb, no foul.
Ian Clark setting up Bogut. Nifty delivery.
Well, I thought he was going to go for the lob, but he went for a nice bounce pass, and Bogut was ready for it. Beautifully done. He designed that all the way from the three-point line, did Ian Clark.
Here's the clear out. And Bellinelli missing the 3. Caspi on the glass. And somehow Ian Clark took it away. Steph Curry weaving. Draymond, out of contact there.
Willie Cauley-Stein said, I was there for 5 seconds. Here's the defense inside. They just squeeze him. Bogut took away the rim, and from behind, they got it. And that's a beautiful pass. Right off the dribble.
I mean, Draymond ran over Willie Cauley-Stein there, so I mean, it benefits the Warriors, but
he's a rookie. And he was there. I don't know whether he possibly could have been in the restricted area.
Free throw split. And that will be an area the Warriors need to improve on because they've dropped to 17th in free throwing.
Remember at halftime last night they were 6 of 15.
Well, tonight they're 12 of 14, so they've much better focus.
Well, they were good in the second half last night.
7 games on the road, you got to make your free throws away from home. Gay missing there. And Draymond and Bogut combining for that rebound.
You know Steph likes 2 for 1, but looks like he's going to back it out.
So the Warriors had the 1-point lead at the end of 1. They had pushed it to 11 briefly. It's at 10 right now with a 13-second game shot clock difference. Bogut becomes the decision maker. Cycle it to Draymond, his 3, and they didn't get it off in time. So a little unselfishness that was overdone. Very quietly, the Warriors are holding the Kings now to 33% shooting. So the field goal percentage defense has been excellent, but Sacramento has 54 shot attempts to the Warriors 36.
Because they are hustling, trying to underman without DeMarcus Cousins. They're trying to hang in there and doing anything they can, just scrapping. And that's the difference. Otherwise, if we'd seen the way the Warriors were offensively last night, they'd have a 25-point lead, but not the case yet.
Bellinelli. Very fortunate that there was not enough contact.
Yeah, Marcos had a tough shooting half here.
Bellinelli 1 of 8. The Warrior lead at 10. Looking for win number 18 in a row in the final home game before the big 2-week trip. Doing it without Harrison Barnes. 17 from Steph Curry. No one else in double figures. Rudy Gay with 14 for Sacramento. But the Warriors shoot it at 53% and limit the Kings to 33% shooting. So we hit halftime with a 10-point advantage. Kings giving the Warriors all they want, and the world champs answering. Henry Woodford, Kalena Azubuike getting ready for Warrior Halftime Live, presented by Jack in the Box, right after this.
Welcome to Warriors Halftime Live, brought to you by Jack in the Box. The Warriors up 10 at the half, 56-46. Steph Curry off to another fast start. He had 19 points in the first quarter yesterday against the Suns, 17 points in the first quarter against the Kings tonight. Explain why he's doing a good job.
Well, he's just a great player. I mean, this guy, he can hit the threes, get into the basket like you just saw, another step-back 3 here. I said before the game, there's no shot he can't make. You can't be close enough to this guy. You can't give him any airspace. He's the best shooter that's ever lived.
Ever lived.
Ever lived.
That says a lot about Steph Curry. No Harrison Barnes tonight, but we do have a couple of birthday boys, Andrew Bogut and Leandro Barbosa. Both of those guys look pretty good in the first half as well. Clint and I will be right back. He'll give you his keys to the second half. The Warriors love the three-point shot. They're 6 for 13 from the field in the first half. Now, this is a 10-point game, but that score doesn't tell the entire story. Warriors actually trailed for most of the first quarter.
Well, yeah, if you remember last time these two teams played, the Warriors got that ugly, disgusting win. That's kind of the way this one's going so far. They came out, getting out hustled on the boards and loose balls. Kind of the start you thought they might have had after Turkey Day, last night. But they came out here tonight. So that brings me to my next point is effort. They need to have just effort in the second half. You heard Steph Curry talking about that. When you're as good as the Warriors, it's more about what you do than what the other team does. Like, you got your scouting report, you got your plays that you go over and shoot around. But you know if you're the Warriors, if you bring effort every single night and you play a certain way, effort on defense, effort on offense, you should be good most nights.
We'll see if the Warriors can keep their foot on the gas pedal. They're going for their 18th win of the season. Will they improve to 18-0? We'll discuss the game when it's all over.
Well, Well, the team we trust and follow and like is the Warriors with our Jack in the Box at the half, leading by 10. And maybe the most impressive thing is after you make 22 threes the night before, the Warriors are 6 of 13 on threes. Haven't just settled for launching jumpers, have dug in defensively, but I credit the Kings because they're stopping Warrior lobs, the fast breaks, but the Kings aren't shooting well enough to really be in the game.
Not at all. Rudy Gay leads them with 14. He's the only player in double digits, but they made him work. He's 5 of 17. But what they have done, they've disrupted the offense of the Warriors. They've scouted pretty well. They've taken away the lobs effectively. They're rebounding it extremely well, particularly at the offensive end. That's keeping them in the game. And they're just making it difficult, trying to keep the game out of rhythm where the Warriors don't have everything in sync for themselves.
Yeah, you look at Rudy Gay, 14 points on 17 shots. Steph Curry has 17 points on 6 shots. there's an efficiency difference.
Well, he and Clay have combined for 25. But the 3 other stars, including Draymond Green, only 6 points from Bogut, from Brandon Rush, and from Draymond Green. With the absence of Harrison Barnes, somebody's got to pick up the slack there in the starting lineup. I expect Draymond to do that in the second half. But the bench has been great. Ezeli, 9 minutes, he's got 8 points. The bench gave him 24.
Yeah, 24-12. When you look at the first half numbers, the Warriors are very happy with the way they've shot the ball. And particularly in the second quarter, they locked up the Kings. The bench scoring, as we mentioned, doubled up. And you're up double digits at the half.
Yeah, you can't complain with this. These are games you just have to gut through them. Not going to be easy. You're going to have to work for 24 more minutes to get victory number 18.
So the work halfway done, trying to keep the perfect season alive with the third quarter on the way. Warrior 10-point lead, getting ready to start the second half. Moments ago, our Roz Gold on Wood A caught up with Warrior assistant Jaron Collins.
Coach Collins, the Kings started out hot. What was most important to taking the lead?
I think just our defensive rotations. We're doing a pretty good job of making them miss shots. The biggest thing is just rebounding, finishing the possessions, and coming up with those defensive rebounds.
And you're starting to see this game unfold, the first one without Harrison Barnes. Where are you seeing yourself missing him most?
I think Harrison is a great two-way player. You miss his ability to stretch the floor, knocking down those perimeter shots, and then also being able to defend multiple positions. But it's a next man up mentality, and we're getting great contributions from Mo and Ian in particular, and everybody else stepping up.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
And that's what the Warriors will need, contributions up and down the roster. Every coach in every sport, when you have key injuries, says next man up. The difference is the Warriors have several good players to step in. A lot of times, teams have key injuries, and they're done. Brandon Rush missing that 3. Rudy Gay drawing all that attention.
You can see he just got frustrated.
Yep. Rondo knows he's got to shoot it. Steph Curry does too. And there's a 24-second violation. Steph had taken a peek at the shot clock on the other end. And he knew Rondo had no other choice.
He wasn't worried about getting possession of it. You may say, gee, why didn't he take it? Because he knew it was going to be a violation. Their ball automatically.
So a 4-minute and counting shutout of the Kings from the field. Brandon Rush cramming it down, and McLemore got there late, and the Warrior bench having fun with that one.
Well, remember last night he tried a reverse dunk, got it partially blocked, didn't come away with a foul or anything, but I love him being assertive, and now he followed up for a real one here.
And Steph Curry coming up with a steal. He's grabbed before he could shoot that 3.
People get a thrill even if it didn't count.
So Rajon Rondo just picked up his 4th foul.
He's just taking himself out of the game. How about Rush here? Strong finish.
And the whole Warrior bench started flexing their muscles, enjoying that one.
This is a golden opportunity for him.
What a find by Steph Curry. Draymond doesn't settle for the 3. B. Rush.
We may find something here. We may find a little jewel who's been absent for a couple of years.
So Brandon Rush, the dunk and the 3. And George Karl has to take time. Largest lead of the night. I was watching courtside. Jim just took his headset off.
I didn't hear a word that was said.
I will tell you.
Because I am going to look at it later on.
You were going to watch one of the greatest college football games of the season.
Wow.
And I'll just leave it at that.
I've recorded it. I'm going to watch it tonight.
You're also going to watch 2 top 10 teams where the kids actually get degrees and go to school.
That's true.
So that'd be another thing that'll be kind of fun to watch.
Yeah, I like their coach, Notre Dame.
I like David Shaw.
So, of course, I like David Shaw.
So Draymond called for the foul on Kosta Koufos.
I did watch Ohio State, Michigan today. A little disappointed there. I thought Michigan would put up a little better fight. Harbaugh. But Urban Meyer, 49-4 since he's been at Ohio State.
Not bad.
Okay, back to this game, which is what counts.
Koufos.
He's more than serviceable, isn't he?
Were you just thinking of Ohio State when you said that?
Very good. It's been only 1 year there, I believe.
Klay Thompson, a little off the mark there. Sacramento, to me, and they don't have DeMarcus Cousins, but they look much different than we saw in Sacramento. The stats wouldn't show that, but the energy and life, the game plan, and just how hard they're playing, this is a good sign for the Kings. Draymond, beautiful flip shot, banking it home. And there's his first made field goal.
But when he does that, I mean, it's not easy for a big man to have that kind of touch control on a ball going that fast.
Bogut with the block. Klay runs to the three-point line.
You talk about measuring a shot. He couldn't wait for that ball to get in his hands. He knew he was going to make it.
Koufos inside.
Andrew Bogut's getting a little frustrated there.
He blocked the previous one. Koufos finished there. Draymond and Brandon Rush continuing the hot streak. And this is a great sign.
Well, you made a great point at the timeout. In the past, he's had sporadic minutes, shown a few signs here and there, but sometimes just kind of withered. And now he knows he's going to be playing every night for a while.
You know, Jim, you started, you also came off the bench.
Yes.
But you played every night, so you'd come to the gym and know you were in the rotation. You know, the Warriors are really good. Brandon was not in the rotation last year. He didn't play very well. You're 2 years back from an injury. Harrison Barnes goes out. If you're Livingston, Barbosa, Brandon Rush, you know you're playing every night right now. And Brandon, so far, is taking advantage of it. Another three!
Well, they're playing right to his strength. Wide open looks. He's got the touch. He's killing the Kings right now in the third quarter.
Harrison Barnes averages 13 points a game. Brandon Rush has 13 tonight.
Welcome back to Oracle Arena. Warriors up 22 on the Kings. On opening night, the players got their championship rings, a banner was raised, and now this Monday, the entire Warriors front office staff got their bling. In tonight's Ford Right choice, the entire staff of men and women who work hard to coordinate community events, PR, game day execution, sales, and every aspect of Warriors operation and business were celebrated for their hard work in last year's championship run. Warriors owner Joe Lacob presented rings to each staff member, including Warriors legends Al Attles and Nate Thurmond. And Bob, Jim, I know you guys got your championship rings. How cool was that?
Well, I tell you, Roz, Al Attles, 56 years, Nate Thurmond, and Jim Barnett with 31 years were my favorite seeing people get rings. That was just awesome. It was a great, great night.
I tell you, it was a lot better than I even expected. It was a beautiful ring. It was a great ceremony and a great celebration.
Bellinelli couldn't bank in the three, had to shoot it to beat the shot clock buzzer. Gaspy having a block by Draymond. Koufos bothered, and finally Rudy Gay.
You didn't count the 3 years that I played here. You got to throw that in.
Okay.
That counts, doesn't it?
That's it. Add it on.
But they are beautiful, aren't they?
They're spectacular. Brandon Rush! himself a night. He's got 16, 4 of 5 on threes, 14 in the quarter. What is it with third quarters in the Kings? Gaspy missing. We got a rebound foul.
Basket.
Well, Rush had 2 points at the half. He's got 16 now. 14 in this quarter. Is that right? 14 in this quarter?
14 in the quarter.
You still got 7:26.
I said third quarter against the Kings. Something special usually happens. Curry had the quick hands. Clay comes up with it.
Well, let's see if they treat Rush like they did with Klay Thompson.
Brandon Rush again. And this time, able to get his own rebound. That's going to be 3 in the key.
Oh, that's a tough call there.
Brandon Rush has made 4 threes tonight. He made 3 threes all of last season.
Wow.
Okay, I mean, that's, you want to talk about coming back from the beyond.
And that doesn't help your confidence any. This is going to be a big boost of his confidence. Or it should be.
Rudy Gay rimming that in.
Rudy Gay.
Steph's got 17. Brandon Rush has 16. Clay with 12. Rudy Gay's got 18, but he's taken 19 shots. And Curry rimming that out.
Curry had 17 at the half.
Good awareness, Draymond Green. And then he is grabbed.
I don't know why Gaspy did that. Everybody was back, with the exception of Rudy Gay, who thought he got fouled on the play.
Well, the Warrior boa constrictor defense is starting to take hold because the Kings are still at that 33% from the field.
You know who would love to have had Draymond Green on his team is Pat Riley, because he plays so aggressive defense, so aggressively defensively, that, you know, there's going to be contact all the time, so they give him the benefit of the doubt. That's the way Draymond approaches it.
Klay Thompson railing a 3. 22 made threes last night, 12 of 21 on threes tonight. And they are sucking the life out of the Kings here in the third. This was a 1-point game at the end of one. It was a 10-point game at the half. It has ballooned to 24. Collison missing. Bogut the rebound.
Collison would like to go all the way, but he saw Bogut, had to pull up. Makes it a tougher shot.
Draymond wheeling around. Field goal and the foul.
How about that? No angle to shoot it with the right hand, so he throws it up with his left. And he was in complete control. Just takes advantage, baseline, then the spin back. Excuse me, he shot that with the right hand, which is, you're turning 360 and you shoot it with your right hand? Tough.
The mental decision. Oh, wait, I have Bellinelli. I'm not passing. I'm posting him up and going right. You know, Draymond assesses on these switches. When he gets guards, he's beasting some of these smaller players. And he's doing it more regularly.
But he's finishing like a smaller player with the quickness and the touch on the ball, the delicate touch on the ball.
Clock at 5. Rudy Gay missing. Steph an easy rebound. Are we going to have the 4th straight game? Curry doesn't have to play the 4th quarter?
You read my mind. I just was going to mention that.
Because Monday will be 3 games in 4 nights. Could use some rest for everybody. The lob to Bogut. Draymond may get another triple-double tonight, by the way. He's got 7, 9, and 7. And a triple-double last night in Phoenix. And Rondo, a little magical move on the baseline.
Koufos with 14 now.
He's a serviceable backup big. And when they have DeMarcus Cousins, Koufos would be fine as your backup center. Draymond 3. Rimming that out. Bogut gonna make Rudy Gay earn that. Not let him wind up and slam it.
Draymond goes over to Say, well, you got me on that. I had to leave you to face the big man. You beat me along the baseline. Andrew Bogut, what was he, 31 today?
31 today. Barbosa is 33 today. 2 Warrior birthdays on November 28th.
Well, you look at Leandro Barbosa, the way he plays, and if I said he was 27, could you argue that?
Nope.
The energy that he expends out there, pretty amazing.
Brandon Rush gets a great round of applause as he goes to the bench. And that has got to feel really good.
Well, he got a smile out of him. 14 points in 7.5 minutes. Didn't quite duplicate Clay's, but I'll tell you what, I bet it feels just as good to him as it did to Clay.
Well,
his
as you said, Jim, the last couple seasons have been lost for him after injuring the knee on opening night a couple years ago. How about Festus moving without the ball? So Draymond's got 10 assists, 3 more rebounds, 3 more points. Festus working on getting close to a double-double. Rondo for 3. He was never even a proficient three-point shooter, but 35%, that's reasonable. You got to honor him there. To add something to his game, and Draymond Green.
He's got that floater down, doesn't he?
Sure does.
He's just brilliant with it. I mean, he looks like Stephen Curry on those finishes.
Willie Cauley-Stein. Don't see much of his offensive game. He's a very good defender. DeMarcus Cousins, Willie Cauley-Stein, and Kufas, they have centers in Sacramento. Klay Thompson brimming that out. And Ezeli is fouled on the rebound.
Willie Cauley-Stein is going to have to learn in this league. You better find your opponent and block him off. You just can't go in and say, assume that you're going to grab the rebound.
And it's such a great point, Jim, is that you're a great athlete in high school. You're just bigger than guys who jump.
Yep.
In college, much the same. You get to the NBA, there's no Festus Ezeli's roaming around in college basketball or Andrew Bogut. It's a big splash of cold water. The Warriors Slate apparel is back. They have never lost in these jerseys. And if you'd like to rock the Slate apparel, do it tonight at Warriors.com. Tees, jackets, knit hats, the player jerseys, all courtesy of Adidas. Gonna have a foul on that rebound. And kind of elicited a groan from the crowd.
Well, he missed one there, but he's still 3 of 4 on the night. Is Ezeli.
Festus has climbed above 50% from the line.
Give him credit. Well, he's strong mentally. Anyway, I mean, he's very, very strong.
Shot clock at 7. Draymond stayed with Collison. Somehow he got around him and was able to flip it in.
Pretty clever move. I was going to say something more about Festus Ezeli. That strength and that intellect that he has. His mother's an attorney. He comes from good genes. Very responsible.
Quincy Acey will pick up the foul.
Did you see something that about Luke Walton, that the NBA is looking into maybe possibly giving him the wins?
These are where people worry about things that are silly. Yeah. The interim coaches,
right,
their wins and losses are added on to the head coach. And because the Warriors are front and center on just about everything right now, and Luke Walton is winning every game, they're saying, well, now maybe interim coaches will have their own records or whatever.
Yeah, but you know, we know that Steve Kerr's imprint is on this team.
Steve Kerr
right?
is still communicating with Luke every day.
Every day, yes.
He's at shoot-arounds. He's at practices. He talks to the players.
Yeah, Luke doesn't want those.
Steve put together this entire staff. And it just doesn't make any sense. People get preoccupied with numbers, Jim, and they worry about things that Shouldn't matter. Collison staying with Steph. And good for Darren Collison. Stay with the MVP. Knocked it away. And the Kings run it right back.
Smart play. Just drop it back. Quincy Acee.
Luke Walton's going to use the timeout. Doesn't want the Warriors to lose focus here. 23-point lead, 2:08 remaining in the third. It was Brandon Rush with 14 of his 16, and the teammates were having a lot of fun with it. A 23-point lead at Oracle with 2:08 remaining in the third. Our Metro PCS Unlimited performance. All right, Jimmy, get ready for the road trip. Utah was a team that beat the Warriors in Utah a year ago. Charlotte, that's always a homecoming for Steph Curry. It's a very big day on the schedule
and they
for
won
him.
2 years ago, I believe.
And Toronto is a building where the Warriors opened 22-2 in that first quarter last year after they lost to Cleveland and just absolutely shackled the Raptors.
Well, what you have to worry about in Utah, I remember that loss. Rudy Gobert was brilliant.
The Stifle Tower.
Boy, he was tough. And he is tough now.
And Gordon Hayward played very well in that game.
He's come out of his early season slump, by the way.
Steph Curry setting up Mo Spates, missing the baseline jumper. Stephanie Iguodala, Sean Livingston with Ezeli and Spates. Quincy Acee denied. We've seen Spates and Ezeli as a tandem more tonight than really any other game this year. And so this backup 4-5 here. Harrison plays a lot with the reserves, and so in the absence of Harrison Barnes, you're seeing Mo get an opportunity. Collison with the quick hands. And Steph came away with the ball. And Curry is clubbed. And he'll get to the line.
Well, the way this is going, I don't think we'll see Stephen Curry in the fourth quarter. I was hoping to see Steph go against Seth, possibly. Seth couldn't play in that first game because he had a sprained ankle. There he is. I want to see the brothers go.
Well, he's played in 7 games. He's shooting 64%, 4 of 6 on threes.
But we haven't seen him tonight.
Well, the holiday hoop plan, the Christmas game against Cleveland. Also, the Clippers OKC, several other marquee games. Presented by John Bajus at 888-GSW-HOOP. And get those 3-day holiday hoop plans. That's my kind of shopping. One phone call, and then you're done.
Curry's first points of the second half.
Everybody else was scoring. He didn't need to.
He wasn't even shooting.
Bellinelli fouled on the runner. Marco Bellinelli, I think, resurrected his career in Chicago. He played very well with the Bulls, and then with San Antonio, who's a key cog in their system. And then now, as a free agent, got a very nice deal with Sacramento for 3 years and $18 million. I think Marco is a better player with better players around him.
Averaged just a little over 9 points a game last year with San Antonio.
Oh, Spates went to send it down. Willie Cauley-Stein met him up top. Final couple possessions of the third quarter here. McLemore missing and knocked out of bounds. It will remain Sacramento ball. Ten-point lead at the half, but a 14-point quarter by Brandon Rush helped expand this lead.
Does it seem like this quarter is lengthy?
Yes.
I keep looking up. I can't believe we're still in the third quarter.
We've had a lot of stoppages.
Yes, we have.
This quarter.
not an exorbitant amount of free throws.
No.
I don't know what it is.
So the 6th pick in the draft. What a center tandem collegiately. Karl Anthony Towns and Willie Cauley-Stein.
Yeah, they shared it. Played about 20 minutes each.
How does Kentucky not win the championship again? About a 3-second game shot clock difference. Zealy inside, and McLemore bothered him enough that he couldn't dunk it down.
Well, one pump fake, he'd have had free reign.
Warriors 32, Sacramento 71.
So the Warriors 12 minutes away from making it 18 in a row, as Curry need to play in the 4th. 21-point lead, doing it again to the Kings. Couple questions entering tonight. Our Toyota game summary is, could the perfect season continue? And how will the Warriors respond without Harrison Barnes, who is likely to be gone weeks, was the word used by Luke Walton. And Brandon Rush has answered the bell with 16 points, 14 in the 3rd. And the Warriors have held the Kings to 35% shooting. Now, what you don't want to do with a 21-point lead is get so lackadaisical that the Kings make it some kind of 12 or 11-point game.
Exactly. So you got to play these first 2 or 3 minutes here just as you start out beginning the game.
Yeah.
I want to say something about Harrison. You know, everybody always says, well, they did x-rays and they were negative. That doesn't mean a doggone thing. You've got tendons in there, ligaments. You can do a lot of damage with a severe sprain, particularly if it's a high ankle sprain. I don't know where it is exactly for Harrison, but it didn't look good when he couldn't walk off the floor.
Iguodala hitting a 3. Yeah, I think that the issue on the x-ray, if you have a broken leg, you're going to be out a really long time. But you're right. You can have highly significant injuries with the way he rolled that and landed on his foot.
Yeah, my criteria is always, you know, could I walk off the floor on my own accord?
Right.
And I always could. So I was out, you know, maybe a week, 10 days max anytime. And that does happen to everybody in this league.
Mo Spates. Interesting screen. Bosa missing there. So the other question, does Steph Curry need to play here as Leandro called for the foul? There is one starter I would like to see back in the game. As you see the foul here.
Yep, Leandro got it, but got a lot of the body of Collison. Yes.
I want Draymond Green to come back in for 2 more rebounds.
Okay, well, they kind of did that last night in Phoenix.
Because the last Warrior to have triple doubles in back-to-back games was Wilt Chamberlain in 1964.
That's hard to believe.
So, selfishly, I'd like to see Draymond get back-to-back triple doubles.
You know, I love that stat because it tells you about Wilt. So did he? Of course, they didn't keep block shots in, so it was obviously with assists.
Amazing.
I bet you Wilt had a few quadruple doubles that no one ever knew about.
No space. There's your pump fake.
And that's something that everyone has to utilize in this league. It's not used enough, and it's so effective.
I think Mo's played more under control tonight. He's been very good.
Gets AC up in the air, kept his right foot down. You know, Bob, at halftime I talked about Thompson and Curry combining for 25, but the other 3, Brandon Rush, Green, and Bogut, had 6, 2, 2, and 2. Well, those 3 got, in the 3rd quarter, 25 themselves. 14 from Brandon Rush.
And it was exactly the right point, is that it can't always be Steph and Clay as Bellinelli throws it away. And without Harrison Barnes, you see Rush get 16, Draymond 11, 11, and 9. 1 rebound away.
Well, they talked about that last night, and Luke Walton was not aware of the triple-double situation. If he's aware of that, he'll put him back in.
He's in right now. No Speights again. This one just curls off iron. And Steph Curry, he would have to come back in if the Warriors lose the initiative in this game. And how about Quincy Acey working hard?
Draymond had a chance to get that elusive rebound.
And there is Seth Curry. Livingston. Shaun Livingston with a nice drive. And field goal and the foul.
He's just a pogo stick. He goes up. Beautiful delivery off the glass. Shot it on the way up and then gets the foul.
Seth Curry getting a nice round of applause. And I'm so happy for him, Jim, because
absolutely.
He dominated in Santa Cruz. He was terrific in Erie in the D-League. He was arguably the best player in the Summer League in Vegas. And we see so many teams where Seth Curry is an NBA player. I mean, for him not to be in the league as Caspi hits a three.
Well, he has that one ingredient that is very valuable. He can shoot.
He can shoot. Shot clock at 10. They double Livingston. Nice pass to Speights. And he'll shoot two.
Let me ask you something because it made me think about it. Jimmer Fredette anywhere? I know he got released. Did he get picked up?
No, and that's my point. 8:52 left. All Warriors. Warriors up 25 with 8:52 remaining in the ball game. And our Geico Advanced Analytics trying to keep track of all these streaks. 27 at home overall, 28 versus teams in the West, 18 now within the division. All of these are franchise records. And they're doing it by playing defense, holding the Kings to 35% shooting. And early on, Sacramento got their attention, and then the Warriors turned the faucet off.
Well, since the first quarter, the Kings are 18 of 60 from the field.
Wow.
18 of 60, including 3 of 14 from three-point range. You know, people forget the Warriors defend the three-point line better than any team in the league as well. Remember when they came in with the new regime last year, that was the #1 priority. Run people off the three-point line.
Right, make them take long twos. Defend the rim with Bogut and run people off the three-point line. Draymond fighting for that rebound. I think he knows that one more, he's done for the night. Caspi.
It's another one.
Talked about his three-point shooting. He's back on the beam, 44% coming into the game. And he's 3 of 5 from distance tonight. And
well, he'll get credit for a rebound there.
It was a shot attempt and a rebound. And there's the triple-double for Draymond.
He got 2 rebounds on that one.
I think people know back-to-back triple-doubles. The last one, Wilt Chamberlain in a Warrior uniform in 1964. March 7th and March 10th. Draymond just trying to add another assist, but Speights couldn't finish. Quincy Acey keeps playing hard.
Well, Speights claims he got fouled, and he may have, but they're going to let a few go right now.
Well, tell me the unwritten rules of garbage time, Jim.
It can be extensive. And we're talking 7.5 minutes. That's a long way to go, so you better take care of yourself. And don't assume.
That time, a little different.
He stared down Benny Adams.
Draymond's got 12 assists in the game. This is a small forward.
But when you're this successful as a team, you start making little individual goals, and I'll bet you he has a little individual goal about assists this year. And nothing wrong with that.
One deflected back to Speights. Setting up Iguodala. Another three. My goodness.
Check his three-point shooting again tonight.
He's 3 of 4 from distance. Seth Curry. Off back iron.
You got people rooting for Seth just because he has the same last name of Stephen. And of course they are brothers.
Seth is also a really, really good kid.
Of course.
Spent a little time with him and Dell in New Orleans last year during the playoff series. It was so much fun. Him cheering for his brother and everything. It was just great. The whole family's terrific.
Well, all about the parenting.
Sony and Dell, they did well. Seidel, the daughter, and Seth and Steph, the boys. Draymond! And how about the ball moving around there? Spates coming up with the steal. Barbosa is fouled. And that's going to get... Everybody's going to get to play tonight. As Jason Thompson, Brandon Rush, and Clark are coming in. Andre Iguodala. He and Draymond, high IQ, the threes dropping, and the lead is monstrous. Well, as long as the Kings play the Warriors in this building, the AT&T U-verse Rewind is going to be January 23rd of 2015. In 9.5 minutes, Klay Thompson went for 37 points. 9 of 9 on threes. 13 of 13 from the field. In the greatest scoring display in a quarter the league has ever seen. And as I always tell Clay, when you have a scoring record that Michael Jordan or Wilt Chamberlain doesn't have, you've done something.
That's a good thing to mention, and extremely valid.
They have every other one. You know, people, they say 37 and a quarter. Obviously, Jim, you and I called the game. It really was the jumper with 9.5 left in the third that lit the fuse, and then that was it. That was all she wrote. I mean, that last corner three we showed you, he didn't even barely catch the ball. Feet weren't set, anything.
9 threes, 13 for 13, didn't miss it. Even got fouled once and shot a three and went in.
Yeah, after the whistle, right?
Which didn't count.
And the game stopped being played, really, because all the Warriors did was come into the front court and try to get the ball to Klay.
Well, the Kings bench got involved. All they did was start watching.
Seth Curry. So
glad to see it.
Our longer point, and we mentioned Jimmer Fredette. We're not singling him out individually, but there are players that get all these other looks and opportunities around the league. And you cannot tell me, with teams like the 76ers and others in recent years, that Seth Curry can't play in the NBA.
Well,
so I'm thrilled that he is in the league.
I'll take Jimmer Fredette. Put him on Memphis. I think he could help him. They need a three-point shooting.
Because you mentioned, you know, our old friend Ed Gregory always said, you need a superior skill. Dennis Rodman, superior skill, rebounder. Seth Curry, superior skill. He is a great shooter.
Yes.
And if you can shoot, you know, teams will find a way to utilize you.
Well, Anthony Morrow made a career of it.
And Ian Clark is in the league because he can shoot.
He can do more than just shoot. He knows how to play. He knows how to play the guard position. He can play the 1 or the 2. I like this young man.
Yeah. Seth is not necessarily a traditional point guard, and you see the turnover there. Barbosa kind of misstepped to shoot that. Ian Clark will track it down, and it's getting a little ragged right now.
That ball was deflected. Ian Clark had one deflected last night in Phoenix, if you recall, and they called it a turnover. They didn't see the deflection. But you're not getting a lot of playing time, and those stats mean something to you.
Would you be surprised that after going 22 of 38 on threes last night, that the Warriors would be 15 of 28 tonight? Come on.
No, well, that's the kind of team they are. And they're getting stronger. You know, they've got a lot of pride.
Yeah, Lachlan Penfold is wrapping up Draymond's leg. He's done for the night.
That doesn't mean, there's any injury, folks. They all get iced their knees after the game.
Jason Thompson missing there. Well, that was the Chicago Bulls' big chant in all those winning years? Ice those knees. Ice those knees. And Pippen and Jordan, Ron Harper, they wanted to be out of the fourth quarter and after being iced up on the bench. Jason Thompson, the former King, and now, I mean, they're just karate flails in the lane. No autopsy, no foul right now in the final 4 minutes.
Brandon Rush back in the game. We'll see what he does there because there's still time to score. But I'm going to lay odds here in this situation.
Talk to me.
He won't be as hot as he was in the third.
Okay.
Okay? Just mark my words.
Well, the adrenaline's not there.
Just everything changes. You start thinking about it.
Nice pass to Ian Clark.
I'm telling you, this young man can play. And he's another high character person.
We're going to go to his former team in Utah on Monday. Every player that has played has an assist. The Warriors have 32 assists on their 39 baskets.
Averaging 30 assists a night now.
Sacramento foul. Charge number 30.
Seth Curry is limping.
Yeah, and he committed the foul to get out of the game.
At the same ankle that's bothered him before?
It may be. It's the one that he had rolled that prevented him from playing against the Warriors the first time. So 3:06 remaining, and the Warriors are going to move to 18-0. The Warriors up 117-88 with 3:06 remaining. A Rams shot of the game. Well, this started the barrage for Brandon Rush. He had the two-hand jam. He had 14 of his 16 in the third. A Ram shot of the game, sending it home. And then started bombing away threes. Now, the Warriors, 105 dunks. The most in the NBA. So, three-point shooting, dunks on the inside. The Draymond assist and lobs have been special.
He's got that down to a science. He's become from a pretty rough player, if you will, to someone who's, I don't know, his athleticism, you know, he's not the greatest athlete in the world, but somehow he's found a little niche and he just keeps getting better in all facets of the game. Things that were not in his control earlier in his career.
It's good to see Seth Curry is back in and moving around. You know, I think with Draymond, it's the, you know, the trite old phrase of the game slowing down. I think when he first came in the league, he played with such aggression and such force, and it was always so rugged. And then as he realized, wait a minute, well, I can do a few other things. And then he's improved in all these other areas. As Speights misses a three.
He just gained more skills. He was a rather rough player.
Yeah, that's what great players always add something. Remember when Magic came back from an offseason with that set shot three? He already was this great passer, maybe the best ever. Phenomenal on the break, but he was not a perimeter shooter. McLemore will draw the foul.
Where's foul charge to D'Angelo Russell for the personal second team foul.
The player in Luke Walton is coming out as he talks to Ronnie Garretson.
Yeah.
He said, it's 119-93. He just made the layup. But we need the N1 on that play. So Utah, and then to Charlotte. Warriors are also going to see Toronto and Brooklyn, Indiana, Boston, and Milwaukee. Those are not all in a straight line, I've noticed, Jim.
A little zigzaggy and cold weather.
Our friend
with some days off.
Yeah, our friend Tom Corelli in the league office. This is the first year he did the schedule. Seth Curry hits from the corner three. And I'm going to get Tom a Christmas gift when we're in New York, and it's going to be a map of the United States. Just show him the proximity of some of those cities.
I just found a gift certificate that didn't know I had today. $100 at the NBA store in New York.
Okay, let's get an NBA map.
I didn't even know I had it. Is he going to hit another?
Yeah, Seth Curry hitting that three. That's got to feel good for him doing it in front of his brother. Kid can play.
Stephen can't contain himself, and I don't blame him.
Kid can play. 3 of 3 on threes. Apparently, if you're just a Curry at Oracle, you make everything. Brandon Rush. Dribbling. And then turning it over. Backcourt violation. So the Kings will drop to 6 and 12. They need to get DeMarcus Cousins back. He would not have made a difference tonight. Warriors have held the Kings to 39% shooting, shot it at 49%, had a lead as high as 31, and playing with a 20-point lead right now. But Seth Curry kept garbage time interesting. And 4 straight fourth quarters, and Steph Curry has not had to play. So able to keep his minutes right around his number 30. And both boys wear that number, obviously, to honor Dell. That's why they wear 30.
Well, when we're in Charlotte, they will have a celebration for Dell at halftime.
Yeah, I saw that.
Charlotte Hornets are going to honor him. Also, Alonzo Mourning, I think, this year. They're the two players.
Dell was an original Hornet. Is the franchise leader in point scorer.
All-time leading scorer there, yes.
Yep.
Seems like yesterday I was still working games, Bob, earlier on, and talking to Dell before games in Charlotte. I just remember going down there and finding out who he was exactly. Hadn't talked to him. They were a relatively new team. In fact,
Well, they came out. They came out with the teal. Remember that? That was kind of the first. Their uniforms were so different.
I remember Baron Davis being an all-star with them there.
Seth and Steph, and they had up 80 back and forth. They've both had dinner at each other's homes, and
yes,
you know, it's nice that they're both in the league and close by or close enough.
Well, I can tell you how Seth can get better. A little experience here in this league, but every summer just go home and play one-on-one with your brother.
Okay, nice.
You'll get better.
Yeah.
You'll have to.
Not bad.
You'll get better defensively.
Willie Cauley-Stein missing the dunk. Jason Thompson will track it down. Need to get it across half court, and that's all you need to do. I don't know what the Kings are doing. There's no reason or need to foul. And the
They're
Warriors,
young.
Yeah, they're young. 18-0. The perfect season lives on. An extension of the NBA record. 22 straight regular season wins going back to the Final Four of last year. And that's the third best win streak in NBA history. Well, 33 is still a long way away, but a 7-game road trip awaits. And we'll be with you Monday night in Utah. The Warriors, without Harrison Barnes, still get it done. Win it going away. And Henry and the guys get ready for Warrior Postgame Live. It starts right now.
Welcome to Honda Postgame Live. It's still a perfect season for the Golden State Warriors. They beat the Kings 120-101. They are now 18-0. Let's go back out to Oracle Arena where Roz Golden-Woode is standing by with Brandon Rush.
Brandon, you go from varying minutes to a start. How do you handle that?
You just got to stay ready all the time. You'll never know what can happen. Unfortunately, HB got hurt, and I had to step right in and play some big minutes, and I was able to knock down some shots tonight, and it went well.
And you've experienced major individual success with the Warriors here, circa 2011. How special was it to have all of Oracle roaring for you again?
It's always special. It's always special just coming in here and playing the game you love. So just getting the crowd involved and making them threes is pretty important to me.
And This is the 4th game in a row that the Warriors have had 30 or more assists. How much do you guys trust each other out there?
Oh, we just make the right passes. We find the right open man, and we make them shots, and we just put pressure on the defense, and that's how we like to play.
You know, I've spoken to the coaches about you, and they say that you have some great practices. What does it take to have those practices translate to the great shooting in a game?
Oh, you just got to stay ready at all times. That's what I did this whole time, this whole series. Stay ready and make them shots.
What about getting ready for this season? You're 2 years off of the injury. How did you prepare yourself physically for things?
I just playing a lot of pickup games, make sure I get a lot of shots up, and just get my legs stronger. And that's the way I like to play.
What could you look forward to as your role may increase?
I just look forward to just being ready, and when my number's called, just being able to knock down the shots and play defense.
All right, congrats. It was great to see you out there.
Thank you.
Guys.
Well, I think that Brandon Rush knows that with Harrison Barnes out for a significant part of time, he gets the start. He answers the bell with 16 points. The thing I can't believe is the Warriors shot 46% on twos and 53% on threes.
That's who they are.
I mean, what more can you say about the way this team shoots the ball? But defensively, they turned the faucet off after the first quarter on the Kings.
And that's they got their attention, and they had to do that because they were in a battle. And the Kings were out hustling them. They got the message, and that's the great thing about this team. Yes, they're a terrific offensive team, but when they get down to it, they can turn it off. And defensively, they can just put the clamps on you. What I take away from this game, though, the one thing is Brandon Rush.
Yep.
Because without Harrison Barnes, you're going to have to fill that void. And I just thought that it was a great, bright spot, a nice light bulb. And the cream rises to the top there, and he can go along with that team. With the starters, like you say, you play better with better players around you. He just melded right in.
And you have now, if Harrison's out an extended period of time, Barbosa, Livingston, Brandon Rush, Mo Spates, you have to find those points, you have to find those rebounds, and on a given night, it's going to be different guys.
Yes, and they understand that. You heard Sean Livingston talk about the maturity that they have, the responsibility, the accountability that they do have. It comes from within. It starts with Stephen Kerr, and then it takes off with the captain, Stephen Curry. But it permeates throughout this group. This is a group that has a lot of pride.
Well, Henry, we got to go because when you pack for 14 days.
Whoa.
I mean, at 14 days, I want to see, I know how many bags Jim will have. Tim Roy will set the new world championship record for the amount of luggage taken on a road trip. That guy's got a microwave, a chainsaw, everything.
And most of it'll be on the plane.
Yeah, that's Tim Roy. It'll be 18 Warrior wins and 18 Roy bags on this trip. So we'll get ready to leave tomorrow.
Thank you very much, Fitz. That is great information. I'm going to use that against Roy next time I see him. That is hilarious. JB and Fitz, 1-2 punch for the Warriors. They do a great job. All right, time to hit the streak because the Warriors have won now 22 consecutive games. That's 18 regular season games this year. Plus, they won their final 4 games of the regular season last season. And that means this team is on a roll. I'm Henry Wolford along with Kalina Azubuike. What can you say about tonight's game? Did anything catch you off guard, or did it turn out exactly the way you expected?
The Warriors blew out another team. What do you know? I mean, this has been happening a lot this season. I mean, the third quarter, they came out, started with a 5-0 run. The first 6 minutes, 22-8 run. They're swarming around, getting defensive stops, forcing turnovers. You got the dunk there by Brandon Rush. The Warriors are so good, they can have a guy that's had sporadic minutes come in and get 14 and a quarter in place of a key guy in the starting lineup in Harrison Barnes. I mean, this team is just so deep. They do it on both ends of the court. All of a sudden, you look up and it's a 20-point game, and it's just demoralizing for the other team.
Harrison Barnes out tonight. Brandon Rush starts in his place. Now, Brandon Rush had played in just 9 of the Warriors' 17 games heading into tonight. And get this, he had only averaged 9 minutes a game. And what do you know? He goes out there and he goes off.
I mean, he's just hitting open shots, man. It's unselfish basketball. You see the Warriors, they're passing up okay shots to get great shots. And he was on the beneficiary end of a lot of those decisions. I mean, you see here, these are wide open shots, man. And he's been working at it. He's hitting the open shots. He's in practice. He's having good practices. That's a shot you shoot every day in practice. Coming off the screen here, nice double screen right there. These are open shots for this guy, and he came out ready to do his thing tonight.
Another guy who was ready, Draymond Green. For the first time since 1960, the Warriors have a player who got a triple-double on back-to-back nights. That hasn't happened since Wilt Chamberlain in 1964.
Yeah,
Draymond's in a groove right now.
Right. I wonder if he had to talk his way back into the game again in the fourth quarter there. I think Luke Walton knew what the deal was. He's like, okay, he's got another triple-double. Just put him back in before he starts talking to me about it. He's throwing another lob here. Who wants lobs? Anyone in here want a lob? I mean, Draymond's throwing. He'll throw it to anybody. And you got Mo Spates. He had a nice night tonight. That third quarter, he came up big. I mean, this team is just so deep. Everybody's getting in on the act. It's just a lot of fun.
Rajon Rondo leads the league in triple-doubles this season with 4. Draymond is number 2 on the list. He's got 3 triple-doubles. And Draymond is one of those guys, once again, it's the intangibles, right? Yeah. You can't look at the final stats line and say, okay, well, he's only averaging 14 points a game this season. There's no way he's a great player in the top 10 like Jerry West. Hold your horses. Maybe he is because he does so many things. He's just an all-around player on offense and defense.
Yeah, isn't it funny? Jerry West comes out and says the top 10, and then he goes out and has 2 triple-doubles back-to-back. I mean, that's what he does. He's a stat stuffer. We talked about it before. He does so much for your team. He's top 10, definitely, guys in the league as far as importance to your team. Top 10 basketball like you guys. He does it on the defensive end. Guards 1 through 5. Takes so much pride in stopping guys on the defensive end. That's so valuable to have as a teammate if you're the Warriors. So this guy does it all, man. What can you say about him?
Give most of the credit to the players. Give some of the credit to the interim head coach because Luke Walton, a young gun who has this team clicking. For the first time ever, an interim coach most likely will win the Coach of the Month award in the NBA. It's never happened before. We're going to hear from Luke Walton after the break. Hang with us. Steph Curry. We're going to talk about him. And then look at Rush. Sure, those knees are feeling good. Throw it down the hoop. We'll be right back.
Ahmed Fareed here, coming up on Sportsnet Central after Warriors post-game live. Ton of college football going on. You got to see how Stanford, Notre Dame ended. UCLA, USC in action. Cal in action. A preview of the Raiders and 49ers. And, oh, yeah, Warriors coverage, too. That's all coming up on Sportsnet Central. Guys, we'll send it back to you.
Ahmed Fareed. I need one of those, by the way. I do not have a sponge hand, and I want to throw up 3 fingers as well because this team does an incredible job shooting the 3 ball. Steph Curry tonight, 19 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. But get this, for the 4th consecutive game, Curry did not play in the 4th quarter at all, and that's because the team didn't need him. They won by 19 points, 120-101. So you keep hearing about how they have this upcoming 7-game road trip. They're going to play 7 games over 13 days. But the good news is the star player is well rested.
Oh, really? Yeah. I mean, he's sat out the equivalent of a whole game so far. I mean, this is just perfect. This is the most beautiful scenario for Luke Walton because he's talking about resting guys, and he's getting his rest. I mean, you see the fast break layup here. It was easy tonight. In the third quarter there, he didn't have to score for a while because the rest of the team was getting it done. The 3 is still pure. Step-back 3s are still pure. I mean, this dude's just got a heat seeker, man. He just releases it. You know it's going in. You think every shot he throws up is going in. I mean, it's just a beautiful thing. The defensive end there, too, getting a block. This dude did it all tonight, and he didn't have to play the 4th quarter, man.
Absolutely. Got off to a fast start. 17 points in the first quarter. Remember, last night he had 19 points in the first quarter against the Suns. He's just in a groove right now, and the same goes for the interim head coach, who is now 18-0 this season. Let's go out to Oracle and hear from Luke Walton.
Luke, what did you think of the way Rush and Spates did with Barnes out?
They were great. Honestly, everybody was great tonight. It was a really a solid team effort. Even Ian, in limited minutes in the first half, did a really good job. And it was nice to see, with this road trip coming up and, not knowing how long we won't have Harrison, to see those guys step up. But, you know, happy for him, too. You know, those Brandon and Ian and, you know, Mo, JT, these guys work really hard every day. So it's tough to not be able to give them opportunities as much as we'd like, but it's good to see them succeed when they get it. And they did a great job tonight.
Luke, what do you think, Brandon, that spurt in the third quarter that Brandon came out with, what do you think that'll do for him and for the team?
Well, I know, you know, the guys loved it. Obviously, we were thrilled for Brandon. Like I was saying, he puts in a lot of time, and on most teams he'd probably be getting some minutes, but we just, you know, we're deep, and it's tough to get everyone out there. But hopefully that continues to build on his confidence. He's been, every time we've called on him this year, and when we in, you know, real, you know, big minutes during the heart of the game, he's played well and shot well, and he's big, so he can help us rebound. And if he's going to shoot like that too, then you know, obviously that's going to help fill that Harrison void that we'll be with for a little bit.
I just want to know whose idea it was to call up elevator doors for Brandon.
Well, when Brandon got hot and they called a timeout and we were walking out there to discuss, JC and I looked at each other at the same time. We both had it in our mind. I mean, that's one of our go-to plays when somebody gets hot, and it's normally ran for Clay or Steph, so it was nice to be able to call it for Brandon, and they executed it perfectly, and he knocked down the shot.
You talked about the significance for Brandon given his lack of playing time, but what about the wider picture? I mean, 3 years now since his knee injury, and he hasn't had many, you know, games like this to see what he's come back from. How much does it mean to his teammates, do you think?
Well, everyone, you know, here loves Brandon, and he's such a great guy, and like I said, he works really hard, and he, you know, coming back from that type of knee injury is never easy, and it's never guaranteed you'll get back. So to see him, you know, succeed like that is obviously a great story in itself, going through what he's been through with that injury. But you know, hopefully he'll continue to play like that and continue to build his confidence as we move on to this road trip.
Is Mo part of this filling the void for Harrison too? Yeah. Because it looked like tonight you played Draymond at the 3 with Maurice at the 4.
Well, it's kind of a learning curve right now because we use Harrison at so many different positions that we got to find rotations that we haven't had to use before. So we're gonna keep trying different things. You know, we feel confident playing Draymond obviously at all those positions, and then, you know, we know we're going to need contributions from Mo and other guys, so we're going to keep getting them out there, and if it ends up in an awkward lineup like that, we're going to ride with it for a while and see how it goes, and you know, we'll get a better feel for life without Harrison as these games come up until we can get them back.
Luke, how much of a luxury was it to keep Steph under 30 minutes on the second night of a back-to-back before you start the road trip?
It's great. I'm sure Steph doesn't like it, but I think this might be like his 3rd straight game without even playing in the 4th straight game without playing in the 4th quarter. I'm sure he's not thrilled about that. Obviously, as a player and having the season he's having, he wants to be out there and playing. But from a coaching staff and probably from the training staff, we're thrilled to get him that type of rest.
Luke,
what's that?
Did he play against his brother?
No, he didn't. I actually, when his brother hit the first 3, I kind of looked down to see if Steph was cheering or if he was yelling that we left him open. I'll leave that answer to him when you guys get in there.
Another triple-double.
Nothing like a little sibling rivalry. Of course, Steph Curry loves his little brother, Seth. Steph is unbelievable. The team is hungry. How do they avoid complacency? We'll discuss it after the break. Warriors Warriors Postgame Live is brought to you by Honda. Here's a look at the Western Conference standings. The Golden State Warriors are now 18-0 as they get ready for a 7-game road trip. San Antonio Spurs, keep an eye out for this team because they're playing well also. 14-3. 3.5 games out of first place. They're followed by the Thunder, Mavericks, Jazz, Grizzlies. Clippers are in the 7th spot, followed by the Minnesota Timberwolves. Let's talk about Klay Thompson because here's another guy who didn't play in the 4th quarter. We're talking about a team that's very well rested and shooting good from behind the arc. Get this. The Warriors have made 38 three-pointers in their last 2 games.
Yeah.
Lights out. 15 points for Klay Thompson, 3 for 6 from three-point range.
Yeah, Klay Thompson has been great, man. I mean, it's another great shooting night. The numbers aren't crazy compared to last year, but he's playing well. He's decisive. There's no hesitation. He's 6 for 10 from the field, 3 for 6 from the three-point line. He played a great game, and also, like you just said, they got to rest him too. And it's great that the Warriors are winning with him not having to get huge numbers because he's going to keep getting better. And imagine when he starts really getting going like he was last year and Steph doing what he's doing. I mean, the Warriors are just going to be tough.
4 consecutive games where Steph Curry has not played in the 4th quarter, and we heard what Luke Walton said. He said, I'm sure he's not crazy about that, but the coaches and the team trainers, they are crazy about that. How do you stay hungry, though, being that you're not playing the normal amount of minutes?
Well, complacency isn't something that the Warriors are struggling with. I mean, we talked about this earlier. They are the hungriest team in the league. They're playing like they got a chip on their shoulder. Talked about Steph Curry saying, we love how winning feels, and that's what motivates us. You can just see it in their play. They're confident. They're a self-motivated team. And as a player, basically all you have to do is just make sure you prepare the same way, mentally and physically, and just you can't skip any part of that preparation. And then also for this team, staying loose. I feel like that a big thing for them would be coming up with little ways to challenge themselves as individuals, as a team. It could be anything. It could be shooting games in practice. It could be Luke Walton going, hey, if we stay under 5 turnovers tonight, we get this or that. I mean, it can be anything like that. And you see how loose this team is, and they do those things. I think they'll be fine in the complacency area.
Don't have to worry about it messing around with their chemistry at all, being that they're not playing as many minutes together as normal. Is that an issue?
No, I mean, they play together in practice. This team, they all play together. I mean, the unselfishness permeates throughout the whole team. It doesn't matter if it's the first team, the second team. If you're a guy that played on the second team and you're inserted into the first team, you know, well, I got to play the same way. I got to be unselfish. That's the way we play as a team. They know if they play a certain way, they're going to win. They won the championship last year playing that way. They're winning this year playing that way. So that's how it goes.
All right. The Warriors are going to take a trip to Utah. That's where they begin their 7-game road trip. There's not going to be a lot of rest on this road trip. 7 games in 13 days. Are the Warriors up for the challenge? And do you think they'll return to the Bay Area still undefeated? Something to talk about after the break. Welcome back. Start your engines because it's time to drive ahead with Honda. Yes, this is the 7-game road trip the Warriors will face. It all begins Monday when they visit the Utah Jazz, followed by the Charlotte Hornets. Toronto Raptors December 5th. That'll be a good game. Brooklyn Nets the following night. Then they'll take on Monte Ellis, Paul George, and the Pacers. And you saw the rest of that 7-game road trip. On that trip, which game will be the toughest game for the Dubs?
Well, the thing is, any given game could be the toughest game because we saw the Brooklyn Nets give the Warriors a tough game. So it could be any of those games. I'm going to say the Pacers game could be tough with Paul George coming in there. The Utah Jazz, the first game is pretty tough. The Utah Jazz are a really good defensive team. They want to slow the pace down a lot. So it's kind of a different team than the Warriors have been playing. They got Rudy Gobert back there as the anchor, blocking shots. Gordon Hayward's a nice player. So they're a good team, but it's just a tough road trip. As a player, man, you just want to make sure you get your rest. You get your rest, prepare the same way for every game, respect every opponent, and they should come out okay.
A lot of Eastern Conference teams on that schedule. We know the Eastern Conference is not as deep as the Western Conference. Do you think the Warriors will return after this road trip still undefeated?
They could, but it's unlikely. But if there's any team that could, it's this team because they go out and they respect every game. They want to win every single game. They're greedy in a good way, like Draymond Green says. They love how winning feels. And they want to go on this road trip. They're probably taking it as a challenge. Like, hey, everybody's talking about, hey, there's no way we come out of this road trip undefeated. They're taking that as a challenge. That's what I'm talking about, finding ways to challenge yourself. Okay, you want to prove to everybody that you can handle the tough road trips like that, and they go out and do it. So this team could do it. I'm going to say it's unlikely, but they could do it.
Harrison Barnes is still recovering from that ankle injury. There's a chance that he won't even make this road trip. What will they miss when he's not on the court?
Well, his big shot-making ability. I mean, the guy is athletic. See that dunk over Dwight Howard, the posterized, the baptism he gave Dwight Howard there. But he can shoot it. He can hit threes. He's a good defensive player. I mean, he's, like I say, he's one of the most underrated guys in the league. His shot looks great this year. He's just been having a great year. He delivers in the fourth quarter. With having a guy that has the audacity to take and make those shots in the fourth quarter, man, it's tough to replace that. But, man, Brandon Rush looks good. I'll tell you what, 14 and a quarter is not bad.
He looked very good tonight. In fact, he's going to be facing his former team, the Utah Jazz. They got a team that can rebound a little bit. Favors, Gobert, and then you always got Hayward, who's dangerous from three-point range. Give us a preview on this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, Rudy Gobert is a nice player, just long. He's got a crazy wingspan. Gordon Hayward's a nice player. I mean, this is a team that runs good offense, and they want to slow it down and really get into their sets. They play good defense. It's just a slower-paced team, but the Warriors are built to play against any kind of team. It doesn't matter whether you play slow, fast. The Warriors have the personnel, the depth to compete with any single team, and they feel like they can win every single game.
All right, they're blowing out teams at that. Is it still fun to watch? I love it. I don't care how lopsided the score is. They're exciting.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's worth it, man. This team plays the game the way the game should be played. I mean, the kids love watching them. They're unselfish. They're moving the ball. This is a great team to pattern for young kids to pattern their play after. It's perfect.
Kalina Azubuike breaking it all down. Former Warrior on that We Believe squad.
Oh,
yes,
come on now.
he believes in this team as well, just for the record.
How can you not?
Here's a guy we all believe in, Ahmed Fareed. He's coming up on Sportsnet Central. Ahmed, I know Steph Curry's coming up on the show. What else should we look forward to?
We got Steph. We got a lot of football. Guys, I picked him to go 80-2, the Warriors. I think I undersold them. I think they might do better than that. Sportsnet Central starting right now.